I'm Mike Culver. I attended Juniata College, our home, everyone's home, from 1983 to 1987. Played on the senior year with Bobby Crossey, 1986, and was an honor to be a tri-captain with him, along with Brian Warren, who's here this evening. The list is endless. The adjectives are endless for Bobby Crossey. I'll try to keep it to a few. The first thing is, I wasn't beside Bobby very much on the football field. We would go out for the coin toss. And that's about the only moment I wanted to be beside him, because he was an animal on the field. And I played offense, and I didn't want to be part of his intensity. Danny and I, his brothers here this evening, we were talking about before the game would start, Bobby and his cohorts and all his buddies would be in the locker room, and sure, with the edge of Brad Small, who's here this evening, get him all coached up, and Bobby would be over the corner, like literally like this. And Danny and I didn't get it, but it worked for him. And going right back to our freshman year, I didn't quite understand the intensity. At first, I thought this guy must be just a wild man out there just running around. You know, he can't possibly do anything else, and he can't possibly make all these great plays, but he did. He was a tremendous teammate and a tremendous football player. Let's switch to academics for a minute. Off the chart. I took many of the same classes Bobby did. His focus was unbelievable. Tremendous academics throughout his career here at Juniata, and is a true student athlete, and Juniata should be very proud of him. Bobby tackled everything he approached with all he had. That's one of the reasons, from the statistics standpoint, why he's in the Hall of Fame. 134 tackles this year, 121 this year, 119 the other year, and he was our guy. But what stands out in my mind is that he tackled everything he went after. He tackled the academics. He tackled on the field. He is tackling now in his career, tremendous success. And he tackled the idea of being a good teammate. He constantly was trying to bring everybody together. He was constantly trying to help everyone. Quick story, I came back reunion a couple years ago. Bobby was here, Brian was here, Luke Homer was here. And Luke Homer went on to be a physician along with Bobby, and they were in med school together. And Lou, he was a pretty intelligent guy, thinking he's going to be fine. I'm starting to hear these stories that Lou was sort of stressed out in med school. And he explained to me that Bob was the guy that guided him through many times during med school. And what Bobby told Lou was, take the test, tackle it, do well, move on. And that's Bobby. That was Bobby on the field, that's Bobby off the field, and that's the way he will always be. At this point, I would like to turn it over to Brian Warren, who's also a captain that year and his lifelong friend. Brian, come on, if you want to make a few comments.
So this is a typical Culver audible. I had no idea I was doing this. And also for those of you who have coaches, know that they're your coach forever. Brad Small is my coach. I've been traveling like 12 hours to get here, and I just pulled in and I thought it inappropriate to change in the parking lot. So that's sort of the genes are from. Mike talked about Bob. I'll tell you a couple things. The tackle totals, they're phenomenal. We still dispute on the phone the totals, I'll tell you that. We think that Bob paid off some of the guys that took care of the stats with us. About 15% of those tackles were mine, we've decided. But those numbers aren't by accident. There's a couple reasons something like that happens. One, phenomenal teammates and coaches. Bob had some defensive linemen in front of him who were awesome, but more importantly, they knew it was Bob's job to make a tackle. And they were okay with that. They thought it was awesome. Discipline and intelligence. I coached high school football for a while. I used to hand the linebackers the videotape from Juniata and say, do what he does. He was that disciplined in his approach. And his relentlessness. You want to talk about relentless, there was a game where Bob sprained his knee. He went over to Brad. Brad went to Dan Helm at the time. Dan was the trainer. Dan said, he can't play. There's no way. Bob said, tape my knee. I can't take your knee. You're out. Bob sneaks over to me, grabs some tape, says, beat up, tape my knee. Bob, I'm not taping your knee. I'm going to get in trouble. So he did sneak back on the field later in the game, but I didn't tape his knee. So I sent Mike some notes last night, and I'll just go through those. So just so you know, Bob and I have known each other since midget football. We played together when we were 12. We played in high school. We came here together. For those of you who are student athletes here, we came here for what I think were the right reasons to play some sports, hard-nosed football, and we appreciate academics. And for those 4 years we were here, we spent pretty much 24/7 together, as his wife Linda will attest. She got an hour here or there, but mostly with Bob and I. I got to line up next to Bob for all 4 years, about that far away on the field, and in the gym, and in the film room. And his intensity, as Mike said, and his joy in the process was contagious, so much so that when we got word of this, his brother Dan put it on Facebook. Literally, we were on Facebook till 3 a.m. chatting with teammates who were telling him and me that Bob was their motivation. Bob taught them how to play football. So I thought that was pretty impressive. I knew he was impressive. As far as failures on the field, back to Dan, I think Bob's only failure was that in Dan's freshman year here, Bob and I killed ourselves to get a hit on Dan, and it never happened, and Dan will probably tell you that to this day. If Bob gets a chance tonight, he'll be outside on the field trying to get a shot at Dan. Mike, just so you know how much we liked being on the field, Bob particularly liked hitting people. He was happy when you threw interceptions. He was fine with it. If you didn't throw an interception and it was a long offensive drive, he was complaining to me and to Brad that you needed to score faster because Bob wanted to be on the field. And Bob wanted to make the tackle again because he knew that was his job and people were relying on him. As far as academics, Bob actually made studying fun. The joy of the learning process was pretty impressive. I don't think anybody had more fun studying than we did. There were a lot of late night sessions where we said, we have to master this, let's just enjoy it, and we did. And he was my motivation in that regard, and I think that work ethic comes from his parents who loved Juniata and certainly appreciated his experience here. And as Mike mentioned, I've had the great pleasure of watching him succeed everywhere else in his life. He's a phenomenal physician. I drive an hour to see him. And I can tell you, for those who know healthcare and understand the practice of medicine, Bob is a phenomenal physician. His patients love him, his staff love him. Other than that, I'm sure campus security probably still wants to question Bob about some unresolved mischief that took place during our time here. But I think the statute of limitations has run on most of it. But other than that, Bob represents all that's good and right about Division III athletics and the Juniata experience. He demonstrated athletic excellence and dedication to academics and a feeling of joy in the entire process.
Please join us in celebrating Bobby's induction in 2014 Hall of Fame.
Wow. This whole process, I'll say, has been very, very humbling to me. My time here at Juniata is some of the best years of my life, and it's kind of shaped my life. From the people that I've met from the time I've gotten here, the people that I know from the years that I was here and afterwards. This school has been a tremendous influence in my life, and I really am very, very humbled and appreciative of the honor tonight. I want to thank the committee for honoring me. It's a great honor. I want to single out my brother, Dan, because he nominated me. And I think the thing that was most awesome to me was to be able to play with my brother my senior year in college. It was awesome. And Brian's right. We wanted to pound him so bad, but we never really ever got a chance. And I think Coach Small and Coach Ash were responsible for that. They always made situations where it was always just like, he'd get out on a swing pass or he'd take off and he'd be like, running down the field. But it's a great thing. I really appreciate Dan. He's my brother and I love him, and everything that he's meant to me has been tremendous. The coaches and players, I can't say enough. The guys I played with are like my brothers. You can kind of get a feel from Brian and Mike about how close our teams were back then. And I think it's a testimonial for the coaches. I still quote Brad Small all the time. I'm the school physician at my son's school and they're playing a game tonight. And I always quote Brad. He'd always say there's 5 or 6 plays in a football game that determine the outcome of the game. You better be on the right side of those plays if you're going to win that game. If you look at every football game you watch, he's right. And I always tell the kids to play, you gotta be ready on those plays. So, thanks Brad, thanks for being here. My family, my parents, my mother's ringing her cowbell right now in heaven, looking down on this and saying, I knew you could do it, I knew you could do it. My wife Linda, 30 years together, 23 married, 8 dating, always here. She got the 2 hours like Brian said, but it's been many, many more, and she's kind of like my ground. You know, that kind of aggressiveness and behavior, that kind of high level that I'm at, she kind of brings me down so they can interact with other human beings. It's nice. I will tell you that Division III football is transformational. I mean, if you think about what we do here, it's really like the Brigadoon of athletics, right? You come to a school like this, it's very difficult, it's very, very challenging. And one of the things Rob Ash would always tell us, he'd be like, it's all football right now, guys, in the summer. When we're getting ready, camp, first day of school, he said, your focus needs to switch today. It's academics, then athletics. That's a tremendous thing. It's an opportunity for us to look at what we do. And we're the true student athletes. These guys who play the big Division I schools and programs, they're pretty much professional athletes. We're the true student athletes, and I'm proud of that. The other thing I would tell you that I take away from tonight is all the stories that I'm hearing is how much what we've done has imparted leadership to us and to others. Because the opportunity for you to be in a team sport and to interact with others allows you to learn leadership skills that you take throughout your life. I use them today in my job as a physician. I'm a president of a 100-doctor multi-specialty group in the eastern suburbs of Pittsburgh. And every day I use things that I learned playing football here at Juniata in my daily life. And it's been a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for me to be here, to be a part of this, and to be humbled tonight to be accepted into the Hall of Fame. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.